Hi everyone, welcome back to the Q Construction series. This is video number 6. So if you haven't watched 1 to 5, go back and watch those. It's been quite a while since we posted the last instalment. Lots been going on, been moving units, so we've got everything under one roof now. It's a much bigger space to work in, which is great. So it's easier to take videos, should have more time to do more videos more frequently as well, which is excellent. So this is part 6 where we're going to be doing all the metal work. So fitting the ferrule. This cue's going to have a joint just for the sake of showing you how to make and fit a joint really. And then obviously we're going to put a socket in the back for extensions. So I'm not going to video all of the making of the ferrule. So I've done that before. So if you go back to previous videos, you'll be able to see. I think it's definitely a video of a titanium ferrule. There may be one of a brass ferrule being made as well. So we'll fit titanium on this cue. So I'll show you how it's fitted. Show you how you put the joint in. And the joint is obviously going to add some extra weight as well. So this cue is about 16¼ ounces at the moment. So we'll fit the joint, see what it comes out as when it's done. If we want to put any extra weight in the butt end, then we can after we've fitted the joint and before we fit the extension socket. So we'll take it over to the lathe and get started on fitting the ferrule first. So here's the ferrule that we've made. It's 9¼ mil. So small chamfer on the inside. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's just a straight drilled bore, so it's better to do it that way than to fit one with a thread. So you can thread a ferrule, but really you want the wall of the ferrule to be as thin as possible. That reduces weight at the tip end of the cue and will reduce the throw of the cue ball. So if you imagine if it was threaded, it's going to be that much thicker, and then there's an inconsistent wall thickness as well. So I always prefer to just do a straight bore. It doesn't change the way that they hold to the cue. So they're a press fit. So whatever the internal bore of that is, the peg of wood that we turn is going to be slightly bigger, only very slightly. So they're a tight press fit, and that should secure them perfectly well. So we'll just turn the peg down, push this on. A little bit of adhesive, and we're good to go. We'll use a bit of adhesive, but the adhesive is to be used as a lubricant more than anything else. It does obviously provide some adhesion to the titanium, but not a great deal. It's the press fit that's the important part. So I'm just using the drill chuck just to press that on. Just tighten the thing down there. So we've roughly tapered the queue just to get it closer to its final size than it was, because it was still quite a bit oversized, as you can see from when I fitted the ferrule. So just put it in the lathe, just sanded a small section of it so we know that this part is perfectly true, and marked where we're going to put the joint in. So now comes to the bit that always just feels wrong. We're going to cut it in half and then start to fit the joints. Wanted to talk briefly about the joints that I use before I go ahead and fit them. So the joints that I use, I've got a screw thread. I don't tend to use a vacuum style. I don't see the benefit really. So these are joints that I've been using for the last few years, made obviously to the spec that I wanted them. So it's quite a thick joint, quite a thick thread. They're similar to what you get on like a Hunter O'Byrne or a Hunter Osborne queue. Not quite as big as that, but fairly small actual length of thread. It doesn't need to be hugely long. It doesn't, that gives you absolutely more than enough purchase. And the back side of the joints are just grooved, so that you see some with threads. And I purposely didn't want them with a screw thread. The adhesive that I use is something that dries very, very hard, and a screw thread is made to do exactly that, just a screw. So there's a danger of it unscrewing, whereas with grooves that's less likely to happen. And then also what I do just to secure it even further is just drill some cross holes through the joints on both sides. And all that'll do is allow the adhesive to actually flow through there and then set, so it acts like a lock-in mechanism to ensure that they don't come loose, or certainly reduce the chance of them coming loose. So this is ready to go into the queue now. So we'll do the shaft side first, and then we'll do the butt second. So we'll take you over to the lathe and crack on with that. So that's pretty much the end of this episode. There's not a great deal left to do now. So you've got the joint in, ferrules on, butt socket's been done. I'll bring you in and show you some close-ups of what we've done. And then come back next time. I will be doing the rest of it basically. So it'll just be fine sanding, grain filling, and then finishing, and then this will be ready. So this will actually be available, so if any of you do want it, then you're welcome to it. But yeah, look out for the next video. Hopefully it won't be too long, and we'll get it all finished off.